All right, MBA 525 students. A couple things I want to talk about. First, excellent work with the discussion posts and your comments. This is exactly the type of conversation that I expected out of this. I know a couple of you haven't posted all of your responses yet, and that's fine. We're still going to keep this open. There's a reason I'm making this video now before the end of the week. I just want to talk a little bit because cybersecurity is something that's incredibly important to me, and it's something I take very seriously. I know some of you may have done self assessments, and you're not really sitting as highly or securely as you might think you have or you want to be. So, I want to talk about some things that you can do to make yourself more secure online and to keep your data safe. Um, there's a couple things. Anytime you sign up for a new website, especially if you're using Chrome, you'll notice that Chrome will suggest a strong password. That's good if you only live in the Chrome environment, because anytime you log into Chrome, your passwords will be stored in your profile. That's great, but if somebody has access to your Chrome profile, we have all of your passwords. And a lot of people, even if you don't use the Chrome suggested strong passwords, if you use the same username and password for multiple sites or variations of those, it's incredibly easy for somebody. As soon as they have one username and password, we can promulgate that out and find what other websites you're using. You may have noticed that some websites want you to log in with Google or LinkedIn. So you would link your Google or LinkedIn account to it. When you would log into that website, you'd click on the Google G, the Facebook F, maybe the LinkedIn LI, and then it would let you log into that based on your credentials to another site. It's incredibly convenient. I'll admit I do that for the convenience. But the problem with that is if I have access to your Gmail account, to your Facebook account, I can easily go in and see what other accounts are linked to it, and then I can get into those other accounts. Even if there's variations in it, if I can get into your email, I can see what accounts you have signed up based on the emails you were getting. And then I can assume your username and password is very similar, and then we can go and promulgate out from that. If the website you log into, especially if it's any sort of financial institution, they probably have some form of two-factor authentication. Please turn this on. If you're unfamiliar with this, you would log into your bank as normal, username and password, but before it completes the login process, it'll text you, call you, or email you some code that you would have to type in to finish the login process. The great thing about this is it takes two separate factors, something you know, your username and password, you know this, you should memorize this, and something you have access to, your cell phone, your email. That way we combine both of those and have a better sense of, yes, this is the actual user logging in and not somebody malicious. Sometimes you'll hear two-factor authentication as multi-factor authentication. Obviously, there's different tiers to it and different ways of doing it. One of my favorite ways, and something I use personally and professionally, is a YubiKey. It's by a company called Yubico. It looks just like a thumb drive. Up here you see, it looks like USB thumb drive. It is USB, and it has this little button on it. And the idea is you could set this up many different ways. So if you wanted to log into a corporate environment, you would type in your username and password, like if you're logging into Windows or Mac OS, and then it would ask you to insert and press your YubiKey. You'd press the little button in the middle. That would transmit a long hex message off to the server with, handshake information, credential information, rolling codes, stuff like that. That would authenticate you and then verify that off your username and password and then allow you access. A lot of websites are starting to come around and have YubiKey access. It has NFC communication in it, so you can use it with your mobile device. The great thing about this is it takes something that, again, your password, which you know. It has a device which you have access to, but then the user has to interact with that device. So even if I could gain control over your machine and you have your YubiKey inserted into the USB device, I can't do anything until somebody presses that button. So it makes it incredibly hard to get access to the files or the data that the YubiKey is attached to. You could also use this as your primary means of logging in and staying logged into your computer. So like I talked before, you would log in, YubiKey would do the authentication with the server. But then you can set it up where as soon as the user pulls the YubiKey out of the USB port, it locks the computer. And it won't unlock until that YubiKey is reinserted and the user presses the button. Now, this is maybe a little overkill for home, but if you really want to be safe, this is probably one of the better products on the market right now. But more than likely, you should be using two-factor authentication. You should be changing your passwords, making sure upper and lowercase numbers, letters, don't have them things I can figure out. Don't let them be your pet's name, your birth date, anniversary date, anything that's public knowledge or something that I could find looking at your Facebook for 15 to 20 minutes. It makes it harder, and trust me, it's so easy to want to write passwords down, maybe keep them in your wallet or something, but think of the data that those passwords is protecting and how detrimental it could be to you if somebody had access to your financial information, to some files you had, or anything else. It's not worth it to take security like this not as seriously as you can. Speaking of security, we're going to roll into this. I'm sure you all got this email from Chief Allen. Long story short, in the Evansburg area, there was a suspicious male that was, following and may have blocked a female in with his car. These things happen. This isn't just localized to Evansburg. So, even if you're not in and around Loretto right now, that this is something that can happen, and something that isn't only related to being women as a victim. There are some things that we can do taking in entire security. In the DoD world, we call this OPSEC, operational security. There are things we can do. We want to protect our data online, so we watch our passwords, but we also want to protect ourselves out in the world. Think of identifying things on your car that let people know about you. If you're, let's use this example here. So we have, presumably a college-aged female. So, she's probably, on her car, she probably has a St. Francis sticker, maybe a sorority sticker. What kind of bumper stickers or maybe those little family stick figures do you have in your car that somebody could obtain information about you if they wanted to hurt you, rob you, or what else? And I'm not trying to do this to scare you, but these are things that we need to think about. What image are we projecting to the outside world that can make us seem vulnerable or make us seem like a target? Now, I don't know this specific incident here. Maybe she had no stickers on her car. You don't know, and she very well might not have. The man, maybe saw her in the store, followed her out, and whatnot. But if you were going to canvass a parking lot with cars to pick out a victim, and you saw a car maybe parked a little further away that had a university sticker on it, maybe a sorority sticker, well, we could start narrowing down the demographic. Chances are this is going to be, some big football player in there. It's probably going to be a sorority girl. So, be smart about your life. Be smart about what you project out there. A lot of companies do very similar talks like this with their employees because it benefits the company to keep our employees safe and healthy. And doing quarterly, yearly talks like this about personal security online and in the real world benefits the company and it benefits our employees. So again, this isn't something to scare you. I know you all got the email. Maybe some of you read it. Maybe some of you deleted it. I just wanted to touch on it because it kind of wrapped into our topic this week about keeping our data safe and secure. And of course, we want to keep ourselves safe and secure. If you have any questions about this, keeping your data safe online, being safe in the real world, please reach out to me. Let me know. I'd love to talk about it with you. Uh, keep on working. Oh, one more thing. I forget if I told you this. Because we have a holiday coming up, I'm recording this on the 5th right now. As soon as I'm done with this video, I'm going to go open up week 4. So you have full access to week 4 starting right now. You'll still have access to week 3 if you haven't done anything yet, but I think pretty much everybody has completed all of the requirements for week 3 with the exception of 1 or 2 discussion posts. So you could start on week 4 a little early. Keep on working, everybody. Keep up the good work. As always, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Thank you.